So guys, whenever I'm working with a first-time home buyer, there seems to be this conundrum. Do I buy the brand new shiny house, or do I go with the sweat equity and go in there and roll up my sleeves and make some extra money? I think this really comes down to a basic fundamental thought process. And that fundamental thought process is, if I enjoy doing those things, if it brings me happiness to paint the walls, to do the flooring, to swing the hammer, to do all of the renovations, then I think it fits for you to do the sweat equity. But if you're a person who thinks that it's profitable, I think you're going to find out in hindsight that it's not as good of a choice as you think it's going to be. Now, let me give you some things to think about here. The first is when someone goes and flips a house, most of the time you're going to get someone who's a professional. And so what this means is that they're getting wholesale pricing on a lot of their materials. They have contractors on payroll. They're essentially can just do it cheaper than you can. So this gives them a significant advantage over you, who's buying something that needs to get into that same position to grow in value. Now, the next thing I need you to think about is that when you go through this process of buying an owner-occupied house, you're not thinking about this in the short term. You're thinking about this over a longer period of time. Let's just say 5 years, for example. So in this example, you go, all right, I'm gonna roll up my sleeves, I'm gonna do all these repairs to the house, and then I'm gonna have all this equity. Well, here's the reality. It's perceived equity because you can't actually get the equity till you sell the house. So you paint the walls, you do all this work, and then you probably have children like me, and the kids beat the crap out of the house. So all this work that you did ahead of time and spent all this cash on, by the time you get in the position to actually sell the house, you probably have to do a lot of these items again. So you get beat up on that. Now, the last thing I'm gonna tell you is, if you took, and I'm gonna use my calculator on my phone real quick, if you took $10,000 and you divided it by 60, that was the difference in payment, it would take you 166 months before you ran out of money. So instead of spending that 30 grand, you could literally put it in the bank, and it would take you more than 10 years before you ran out of your reserve. So for me, this could buy you a lot of peace of mind where you're not so stressed about the higher payment because you had that extra stack. I can tell you firsthand, you are going to get in arguments with your spouse. It's kind of insane how difficult it is to pick some of these items out, like cabinets and flooring, and you end up looking at 300 things to try to make a decision. It is stressful trying to figure out all of your kids' schedules while you're doing a remodel. If it brings you joy to do these items, then absolutely do it. Roll up your sleeves, go build that sweat equity. But if this is something that you are making a decision solely off of a financial reason, I think in hindsight, you're gonna see that it's not as beneficial as you believe it to be. Anyways, guys, I'm here to answer any questions that you got. Guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I do information every 2 weeks. It's free, it's easy, and it's awesome.